So welcome to another handmade holiday, and we are doing an advent calendar. So let me show you what it looks like. It looks like this. And it may look very daunting because yes, there are 25 boxes. But if you make yourself into a little Santa's workshop, it'll be fine. And it's very easy. Let me show you what you're gonna need to do. So what you're gonna need is this die called Tiny Gift Box from Lawn Fawn. And it comes with, of course, the box, but it has all these little accessory little pieces. The one that we're gonna use is the circle, because that is what we're gonna use to put our numbers for our advent calendar. So what you do is you cut out 25 of these boxes, and I'll just let you know, the 25 boxes, you can take an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock and you can get 2. So what I usually do is I take the 8.5 by 11 cardstock, cut it in half to half size. I can put this and this together and cut it out at the same time. So that's why I have this. And the die has like little score lines, so you can actually see that you will be putting your box together just by following that. Really easy. So go ahead and pick out, you know, whatever color you want. And that's the thing, even though this is an advent calendar, you don't have to use only Christmas colors. You can do something that people, maybe it's for your friend and she has a favorite color. You can figure out something, and you can use everyday papers as well. So this is this. So we get 25 of these and 25 of these. Our next thing we're gonna do is you wanna get some kind of paper for your theme that you're going to put on top of here, and then this is where you're going to put your number. So figure out a theme. So I'm going to do like kind of like a baking theme. So I chose this paper, and it's a doodlebug one with little forks and spoons, but the other side is baking, so I could use either one, but I'm going to go with this. So I got out my paper trimmer, I took it and I cut down 25 squares that are 1 3/8 by 1 3/8. Okay, so you got the 25. Now here's the thing, like I said, we're going to be like a little Santa's workshop type of thing. So you can go ahead and put double stick tape or something like that on the back. But if you have, and I know a lot of you probably do, it may not look like this, but we have a thing called the Xyron, which is kind of like a cool machine that you just actually hand crank. And what it does is it has different cartridges for adhesive, for laminate, even for magnets. So what you would end up doing is you would actually end up slipping these guys in, and this might seem like it takes a long time, but I did do it by putting tape on these and doing this, and let me tell you, this was so much faster. So you slip it in, and what's going to happen is when you crank this, it's going to come out on the other side. So if you have a Xyron, I would suggest put it to use so that you can have the adhesive put on all these squares in just a few minutes. Okay, so you do that. So either way, get the adhesive on on those little squares. Now when it comes to our little circles, we have a couple of options. Tim Holtz has these brads that count down from 1 through 31. So it's like for a whole month, but we only need 25. But what you can do is you can actually punch a tiny hole with your 1/8 inch hole puncher, slip the brad in and leave it like that, and that will be fine. But here's another thing you can use. We have this smaller size sticker, and it comes with 2 sheets. So 8.5 by 11 cardstock pack of 25, you can get 2 advent calendars. With this sheet of stickers, again, 2 advent calendars. The only tricky thing is we have to do numbers 1 through 25. and it's perfect. It has enough 2s from 20, 21 through 25, plus the number 12 and the number 2. There's enough of that. There's enough of all the numbers. The only number that we really need one more of, just one more of, is the number 1. So here's the trick. Take your number 7 and just snip off that one little part right there. Okay? Now you have your number 1. Okay? And I would suggest that if you use this trick, then use this number 7 for your number 1. Because when you go with all the other numbers, like 11, 12, and all of that, they will have numbers next to each other. So the 7 is a little taller, so it'll look distorted. But the 1 by itself, no one will know. And that way you can use one sheet for one calendar and another sheet for another. If you're only going to make one, then go ahead and use that extra 1 from the second sheet. But I would suggest use the 7. It'll save you a lot of time and not have to worry about figuring out what you're going to do. So that's that trick. Now all we're going to do is we're going to put the box together. You can use double stick tape, or you can use like a liquid adhesive, and you want to make sure that it's going to be something that really holds well. Okay, so the way I do it is I'll take the box and I'll do these inside tabs first. So I'm going to use the liquid adhesive for this, and I'm just going to put a light coat. Okay, and then bring it up, and we're going to do one side. Really easy. These boxes come together so easily. It's really easy. Okay, and just do that. And then I put it down and I kind of burnish it with my fingers. Or if you have, your paper creaser, you can do that too. But sometimes our fingers are our best tools. Then I take these flaps and I put it out. And then we just have to do this side. So again, it really goes through fast. So the way to make this advent calendar is to do everything that you need to do. Instead of trying to do one box start to finish, it really goes faster if you just do one thing 25 times. And then it's done. Now, what we're going to do with this box, if this is called the tiny gift box, right? So normally it would be like this, and open, there's a gift, right? In this case, we are going to be actually having it set this way and open this way. So we have to keep that in mind when we're putting our boxes together. Okay, so let me just get one of my squares. I keep sliding everything. I guess because I really want Christmas to come. So here we go. I'm just putting some double stick tape, and so we have to center this 1 3/8 square on this box. Okay, so you have it like that. Then you put some double stick tape or whatever. That's how come if you use the Xyron, then you'd just be peeling it off because it'll already have adhesive on it. Okay? And then we're going to put our number 1 box. There we go. See, done. Easy. Now you do this 1 through 25. You get that all done. And now it's the fun part, because this is when we put everything together, and it's really fast. What you want to do is get something sturdy. You can do a lot of different things. You can take your boxes and you could stack them in a circle, whatever, but by doing it with the canvas panel, it makes for a really sturdy board. Now this is, or was, a 12 by 12 paper. Because this is 11 by 14, we cut off 1 inch. Now, the one thing you got to keep in mind is, look at what you're going to use for your background. If you can tell, this background has like all these baking things, but it also goes one direction. You know, it goes one direction. It's not like a scattered print all over the place. So you have to keep that in mind, and that's why the instructions tell you look for a piece, and it has to be 11 inches long by 12 inches high. So it has the L, that's what the L and the H in the supply list stands for, because we want to make sure, we don't want you to cut it this way because that's the wrong way. Your pattern won't be right. So keep in mind what your pattern is, okay? So I put some double stick tape. So what you do is you're going to need kind of like 2 sheets. You need this one sheet, the full sheet, cut off the 1 inch. So now it's 11 by 12. Okay, and I already put double stick tape behind. Double stick tape really, really makes projects like this go really fast. You know, so like that, okay? Now what you're going to do is you're going to take it and you're going to match it up to the top. So you can feel it, match it up to the top edge, side edges, and everything. Okay? Now, there's a reason why we put this one down first. Okay? And I'll tell you in a little while. Now you take another piece that is, again, 11 inches, so I cut off that. And it's only 4 inches wide. Wide. Yeah, 4 inches wide. It's 11 inches long still. So again, I already put the double stick tape behind here. And the reason why we're going to do it this way and not do this short one first and then the tall one is because this line is going to actually help you. Okay, so we match it down. Got it. Okay, so of course there's going to be where it overlaps. Over here there's a little ridge, but we're going to use that line to help us line up our boxes. Okay, so our first set of boxes, okay, what you need to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of double stick tape and I'm going to put it on this side of the box. And oops. And then we're going to push this together. Okay. So we have it like that. This is the base of our tree. Okay. Then I'm going to get more tape. And right now I'm using the wide one. It's about, I think it's a 3/4 inch tape. Because I want it to make sure that it's very secure onto our board. Because it's an advent calendar that people are going to be opening the boxes to get their treats from. So I actually put 2 of these. Okay? 2 strips. So put that, get that. Double stick tape. This tape really is good once it just not come off. Okay. Now, although I did this 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to leave this on the side. The next row after that has 6 boxes. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. I put it in the right order. Okay. And I'm going to just show you, before I actually tape it down, I want to show you what you do. So you take this longest one with the 6 boxes and you find your line, and you're going to actually put it and line up that top there. And then this one's going to go below it. And then the next row, now we only have 5. And what you're going to do is you're going to center it like that, where it's going to be in between. And then the next row is going to be 16. There you go. So we got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so you can set yours up so that you can make sure that your spacing is the way you want it. But after that, push these all away. I have my double stick tape here. So I'm going to put it on. And you can actually, if you want to be super, super perfect, then you can actually take a ruler and kind of like measure out the edges to see your here we go. Come on. This tape is really wanting to not stick on, wants to stick on me actually. Okay, so okay, here we go. So I'm going to find my edge and I'm going to eyeball it. I think that looks pretty good. So what you can do is you can actually go in and press down on your boxes. Okay. There you go. I'm going to put this one down. This is our base. This one, because this is 6 and this is 4, it's both even numbers, you put it right here. You just put it right below. But what I'm going to do is, before I put that down on this one, I'm going to add another piece of tape right here. And you have to line it up really at the back of the boxes if you're using a wide tape like this, because we don't want it to hinder us opening here. Okay, so we take that, we're going to match it up with the 4 boxes perfectly. There we go. And again, you can kind of rub it down and burnish it, get it so it's all nice and sticking together. Then after this, we're just going to go, I already have my double stick tapes here on these, and it's, again, this part goes super duper fast when the tape comes off. when the protective tape comes off. Protective paper, I guess you could say. There we go. Come on. Here we go. And I already put my one, because I'm going to center it, so you have to just eyeball everything after that, and you're just going to go in between on this one, goes in between the boxes. And so for me, like 13 is in the middle of the 5, so I would try and line it up with the middle here. Okay, and press down. Okay, next one. So we're just going to keep doing this, and we're going to get these done. Then there's different things. When you are done with this, you can, there's different ways you can display it also. You would need to use something like this crocodile, which has is really, really strong, and it can go through the canvas board, and you can actually put a hole on each corner on the top and do some ribbon if you want it that way to hang it on a wall. If you don't want to hang it, you can just prop it on a nice easel, and you can have it done like that. And just got a couple more rows. I know some people think that advent calendar is supposed to stop at 24, but I guess for me, all my advent calendars I've ever seen go through 25. So just go like that. And you know, you can make advent calendars for other occasions, not just Christmas. You can do a countdown, like 14 days of Valentine's. You can do a count. You can even start one later in December and just do the 12 days of Christmas. You can also do other occasions like Hanukkah, and I think Kwanzaa has, I don't know how many days. I think it has 10. Anyway, you can try all kind of different things and just change it up by using different paper. You can even do this as a present where you do something simple. Okay, so this is your basic tree, right? Now, the fun part is you can leave it like this if you want, but you can also get things like picks, cut it apart and glue it on, add a little bit of trim if you want. Keeping with this theme, I might want to use something like this and add little things and, you know, little baking things for my baking friend that I would give this to. There's things like this where we have little buttons that you can cut the shanks off and add it on. Or we have like the Christmas cookie cutter button like things. We even have little cookies. So there's a lot of different things you can use that's already made. But if you want to continue making things, of course you can do your rubber stamping and you can add little characters. You can add little Christmas characters, or you can go along with this baking theme and you can add different things. This matches the paper. So there's a lot of different things you can do with your advent calendar. Now, don't forget to fill your advent calendar if you're giving it to someone. Okay, so this is how it's done. And let me tell you, in this box, you can fit a Hershey nugget. You can fit a couple of Hershey Kisses and things like that. But if you don't want to do any kind of food thing, here's another thing you can do. You could do, maybe you want to do 25 days of things that the family is going to do together. You know, you could put kind of like fortune cookie wrappers. You could write little messages in each one, and maybe that will tell them. Or you could almost make it like a little treasure hunt and put a clue, and you have a hidden surprise somewhere else in the house. You know, like for me, I thought maybe on the 25th day, which would be Christmas, you could put a little poem like, okay, stop the tick-tocking, go look in your stocking. You know, or something like that. But anyway, just have fun. It's really simple to use. It makes it really easy with this die. And if you notice, with this die, there's also some add-ons that you can do. So there's like little animals, like a reindeer, a cat, a unicorn. So you could use them all year. You could add them onto this. You could use them on the tree as ornaments. So lots of fun stuff with just this simple die. And such a simple project. Even the kids can do this. So don't forget, we have the project sheet available. And we have lots of more handmade holiday crafts. So have a great holiday season.